having a bad day at work right now.
For the better part of the past 30 years, this has been the view for the MC-130P Combat Shadow community.
The aviator's aircraft. This is what you live in this low-level environment.
The environment for this flight is about 300 to 500 feet above the Scottish Lochs.
Hey, Loch Ness coming up, crew, about 4 miles.
A little high for the 67th Special Operations Squadron, and entirely too bright, as most night owl missions play out under the stars.
Out briefly, turning in towards Loch Ness. Look at that.
Wow.
The primary mission of the aircraft, what we're most famous for, is helicopter air refueling, and that's what we practice on a daily basis out here at Mildenhall. But we have several different mission sets. The M in MC-130 stands for multi-role. There's really no mission that the aircraft doesn't do, whether it's airdrop of special forces into denied territory, whether it be their equipment or the personnel themselves, infiltration, exfiltration, airfield seizure, search and rescue or personnel recovery, humanitarian assistance, and then of course refueling of helicopters and now new tilt rotor aircraft as well.
There's no refueling mission on this flight. This one is special. It's one of the last for this aircraft, which will be replaced with a new model over the next year.
It's very bittersweet, but at the same time we're excited to get the new MC-130J. It was an aircraft designated to replace the Combat Shadow, and now it's going to be an across-the-board replacement for all fixed-wing aircraft assets in Special Operations Command. We're very fortunate that this squadron is the one that's going to be the standard bearer for the transition from P model to J model.
Rapid door, when you're ready, load. You're open, load. And pilot.
Okay, just real quick. Stall speed's 116 at 0%, 123 for 30 degrees, 159 for 60 degrees.
I'm reluctant to admit it, but the J model is probably long overdue. We definitely need it. This airplane's very capable. It's doing the mission since Vietnam. So the J model's a step in the right direction.
This is a special flight for Major Aspden as well. This will be the last flight of his storied Air Force career, most of which has been spent in the navigator's seats on the Combat Shadow.
Joe, okay, stand by your right-hand turn, 036. And go ahead and start that right-hand turn.
Don and I have known each other for 20 years, so it's important to be here today. I think everybody on this crew has a long history with Major Aspden, so to be able to fly with him today and usher him out of the shadow, it's a big deal.
That's the great thing about this airplane in AFSOC is that this airplane has been everywhere. You know, Allied Force, Atlas Response, Iraqi Freedom, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, Philippines. So this has been our ticket to the show. The fact that we can refuel helicopters, new airdrop. So we've been everywhere. There's not an operation that's gone on in the past 22 years that a shadow hasn't been involved in. So there's a lot of great war stories. And fortunately, I've been around just by virtue of being alive to be part of those. So I've got a lot of great memories. I'm very envious of what the new squadron members are going to be doing over their careers for the J model in particular.
It's a very humbling experience to be part of an aircraft with such a rich history and to try to carry on that legacy as we transition to a new aircraft. It's a huge responsibility. I'm up for the task, but there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about the men and women who sat at the controls of the aircraft prior to me for decades, prosecuting these missions in an aircraft that has been venerable throughout the years and continues to do so today. So it's the responsibility of me and the rest of the 67th here at Mildenhall to carry on the tradition, the legacy that these old P models have started, and make sure that when we do receive the MC-130J, we continue that rich heritage.
The Combat Shadow and its crew have been the workhorse of special operations for decades. And for the few remaining aircraft, along with Major Aspden, this day marks a retirement well-deserved. Tech Sergeant Scott Elgain, RAF Mildenhall, United Kingdom.